What are some of the lessons that you certainly would have gotten in this class that you used every day about diversity and race and getting along and engaging?
Yeah, I will tell you that the classes that I enjoyed the most were like this one. But frankly, it's because it reinforced lessons that I learned at home. Okay, Sam mentioned the gift of life that I have with my mom and dad. Mom has been in a mental institution for most of her life, and thankfully she's still with us, but physically, maybe not mentally. Dad's done a wonderful job with me and my two younger brothers. But the classes that I enjoyed reinforced what Dad taught me. Dad was a human resource exec, okay? Back in the day, he was called a personnel guy, then a human resources guy. So when I grew up at the kitchen table, I heard stories about grievances and compensation and fair treatment of people and good communication. Now, since I've got the mic, I get to brag about my dad. I love doing this. My dad was a human resource leader, listen, in the only non-union machine tool shop in central Massachusetts. Now, I'm not anti-union, right? But my point is, in 27 years at the Heald Machine Company, there was never even a union vote. Now, what does that mean? It means that management and the employee base had such a good relationship. They talked to each other. When there was an issue, they worked it out, right? Nobody got a pass, by the way, on high expectations. I mean, machine tools in the 50s and 60s when I grew up, machine tools were really under attack by the Japanese market, by the Japanese manufacturers. So it was a tough market. So nobody gave anybody a pass on profitability or some of the tough metrics that you're running a business. But somehow, they never needed a union. So you talk about the classes that I took. The classes, sociology. I have a psych minor, okay? Unheard of at Bentley University. I was the first one to get a psychology minor at a business school at Bentley University. It used to be Bentley College back in the day. But it was because I believe strongly in the fact that all solutions come from people. Any business that's going to be successful is because it takes care of its people. I don't care what the product is. I don't care what the good or service is. I don't care what your competitive landscape is. I don't care about any of that. Right? The fact is, this class, Soc 119 and many like it, teach an appreciation for the diversity, the wonder of people, and the wonderful opportunity we have to harmonize. I think about an orchestra, the many different instruments that are out there, the wonder of a great conductor, right? And we can all be conductors as we play in our orchestra, is how to harmonize all that to make wonderful melodies. And that's what this class is about, and that's what I think success in business is about.
So when you see businesses that are not addressing these issues, and you see leaders, because you work with lots of leaders all over the country who are not thinking about these issues, and instead it's just, let's get right to the numbers, accounting and the numbers and so on and so forth, right? And not thinking about this level of work. What happens with them? Can you say something about that?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of great surveys, and actually a CEO survey was just done, and it's run last 15 years. The Conference Board runs a survey of all the top CEOs in the world. Say, what are you worried about? What's keeping you up at night? And interestingly, before this year, outside the U.S., every other region of the world, the top concern of CEOs was human capital. Financial capital, human capital, right? Business has these funny words to say about people. We're talking about people. Human capital, okay. Human capital was number one in every region of the world other than the U.S. that was customer service until this year. Now human capital is the number one issue on every CEO's mind.
So tell me what that means. So keeping people up at night, what are you really saying?
What keeps people up at night is, how do I retain talent? How do I grow talent, right? How do I get the most out of talent? And here's where, Sam, it's critical that the link was made, because people think human capital, it's the soft stuff, right? It's the touchy-feely, it's the emotions. Until a study was done about what is the cost of having an employee group that's not fully engaged. So you guys show up at work and you're not giving your best, right? I'll give you a B+ at work, not the A that I need from you if I'm your employer. The cost to the U.S. business, right, of lack of total engagement last year, $500 billion. $500 billion. The cost to U.S. business of not having their employee, their human capital, all in. Right? The point is that when I can put a $500 billion number on it, share owners care, CFOs care, everybody who's financial. You said numbers, Sam. People want to talk about numbers. The fact is, CEOs always want to talk about numbers. But increasingly, instead of what are my margins, what are my expenses, they're measuring what's my level of employee engagement. Right? And they're measuring it now. Across the U.S., average employee engagement for medium and large-sized companies, 30%.
Meaning that
30%, 7 out of 10 people are not fully engaged at work. That is what is keeping people up at night, and it's because it's a bottom line issue.
Man, I would say it's true in academia. It's probably true it's true in this class. It's true in every class. Come on. Well, how about
So the 3 out of the 10 people that are really giving their best, please stand up.
Yeah. But everybody would stand because everybody thinks they're giving their best, right?
Okay.
So